Genghis Khan, the conqueror who changed the world, and maybe you didn't really know him. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Now let's start. Did you know that nearly 1 in 200 men today could be a direct descendant of Genghis Khan? According to geneticists, about 16 million men in the world share a bloodline that traces back to him. But this inheritance is not just the fruit of military conquest, it is the result of a plan as cruel as it is calculated. Genghis Khan was not just a brutal leader. He was ruthless, strategic, and obsessed with his lineage. His harem was not a place of pleasure or privilege. It was a prison. A huge structure populated by hundreds, perhaps thousands of women, torn from every conquered land, from China to Persia, to the borders of Russia. The survivors of the massacre were brought there, stripped of their past, their names, their families. Reduced to numbers, classified by beauty, age, and status. The most beautiful were reserved for him, the others for his generals or the most loyal soldiers. But it was not only beauty that counted, it was power. Women were instruments to ensure the continuity of his dynasty. They were kept under constant surveillance, isolated from the world, forced to give birth to children who would become future rulers or pawns in power games. Those who failed to produce heirs were discarded. Those who disobeyed were often executed. Even the women sent to his commanders did not find a better fate. They were traded like cattle to consolidate alliances, given as prizes, used as political tools. Even the mothers of his children were not respected, they were just part of a brutal system, designed to strengthen the empire. The children born from these unions often ended up in deadly power struggles. Their mothers? They were rarely treated as such. Their only purpose was to serve the ambition of Genghis Khan. Motherhood, for them, was a nightmare. It was all part of a cold, calculated plan. Genghis Khan's reproduction system was built on total submission. It wasn't just about children. It was about control. Women were forced into pregnancy. Those who didn't perform were replaced. Their bodies no longer belonged to themselves, but to the vision of an empire destined to expand endlessly. And that is how Genghis Khan managed to leave such a powerful genetic trail. Nearly 1 in 200 men today could have his DNA. Not by chance, but through a systematic system of domination and exploitation. And as the empire grew, so did his harem. Each conquered city added new women, new victims. It did not matter if they were nobles or peasants, they were stripped of their identity, reduced to objects. The most beautiful were reserved for him, the others divided as a reward among his men. The fate of women was cruel: submit or face torture and death. They had no choice. Their value was measured by their usefulness. Nothing more. And when they dared to resist, the punishment was brutal, public, exemplary. A woman who dared to insult Genghis Khan saw her family executed. She herself was killed. It was not just an empire built on war. It was a regime founded on fear. A system where any hint of rebellion was bloodily crushed. Even high-ranking women were not safe. Disobedience was fatal. And those who attempted small acts of resistance, they were punished mercilessly. Today we remember Genghis Khan as a great conqueror, a military genius. But we rarely talk about the lives lost behind his success. The women erased from history, used and discarded as objects. These women were not just victims of war, they were victims of a system that considered them simply tools. Their voices were silenced, their suffering forgotten. But it shouldn't be that way. Their stories, fragmented as they are, deserve to be remembered. Not as footnotes in the legend of an empire, but as testimonies of resilience, of strength, of survival in the midst of cruelty. That's all for today. If you liked the video, leave a like and let me know what you would like to see in the next ones. See you next time, bye.